curious case of Adnan Syed. Innocent until proven guilty or guilty until proven innocent? What do you think? From a legal standpoint, there's a concept called presumption of innocence where one is always considered innocent until proven guilty. But there have been innumerable instances where people have been presumed guilty and whose lives have been destroyed even when they were innocent. One such recent case is the case of Adnan Syed, who was convicted of brutally murdering his girlfriend, Hae Min Lee, and sentenced to life imprisonment in the year 1999 in the United States. It was a high-profile case then, and the evidence seemed stacked against him, which is why he was convicted. However, recently, a Baltimore judge ordered the release of Adnan Syed after overturning his conviction for the 1999 murder of his high school girlfriend. Who is Adnan Syed? Adnan Syed was a student in 1999 when his 18-year-old classmate and Asian girlfriend Hae Min Lee disappeared after school one day. 6 weeks later, Syed, then 17 years old, was arrested for the killing of the popular high school senior. He faced his first trial that same year, which ended with a mistrial. He went to trial again in 2000. A jury found him guilty of strangling Miss Lee, whose body was found buried in a Baltimore park. The judge sentenced him to life plus 30 years in prison. The now 41-year-old, who has always maintained his innocence, had been behind bars for more than 2 decades, serving a life sentence until he walked free recently. Why was Adnan Syed freed? In 2016, on the basis of a petition, a lower court ordered a retrial for Syed on the grounds that his attorney, who died in 2004, didn't contact a critical alibi witness and established that he was provided ineffective counsel. But after a series of appeals, Maryland's highest court in 2019 denied a new trial in a 4-3 ruling. The Court of Appeals agreed with the lower court that Syed's legal counsel was deficient in failing to investigate his alibi witness, but it disagreed that the deficiency prejudiced the case. The court also said Syed waived his ineffective counsel claim. The US Supreme Court declined to review Syed's case in 2019. It wasn't until 2022 that Syed walked free after a judge ruled that the state violated its legal obligation to share exculpatory evidence with his defense, which could have vindicated Adnan Syed. The state's attorney described various details from the case to the judge that undermined the decades-old conviction, including flawed cell phone data, unreliable witness testimony, and a potentially biased detective. Essentially, a fake and doctored narrative of convenience by the authorities who tried the case all that time ago. Additionally, the investigation also revealed new information about 2 alternative suspects. One of the critical factors that led to the acquittal of Adnan Syed in 2022 is the podcast called Serial. Its investigation-based presentation of true crime stories brought up a bunch of loopholes in the initial case and conviction. And when the state's attorneys and listeners realized this, the original conviction was reopened. Serial is a fascinating and gripping podcast that deconstructs many true crime stories and cases on the basis of actual fact-finding. So basically, after the new evidence was presented, finally, Adnan Syed's conviction was overturned and he was released after having spent 23 years in prison. That's almost a lifetime. And although this was a win and justice was served, there are hundreds, if not thousands, of innocent victims in the Indian criminal justice system too, with no foreseeable way to redress their convictions. How do you feel we can actually find a way to change some things in the justice system? Do you know any stories where someone innocent has been convicted? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Be a better you every single day. Basically, know more, be more. See a ton of stories like this and so much more on our Instagram channel too.